episode, Real Country with Jeff and Melony. Today I'm going to show you how I make homemade Krystal burgers, like Krystal restaurant. It's really simple, but it is several steps. I didn't write this one down, but it's really easy to follow. But basically, you just buy your hamburger meat, just regular hamburger meat, and then you have a pack of the King's Hawaiian dinner rolls. Okay, so I get a sheet pan. Let me show you this one. Just a regular sheet pan, and I put parchment paper on it. I crumpled it up so it would lay, I could shape it and it wouldn't roll up on me, and I sprayed it with some Pam. And then I took some hamburger meat, and these hamburgers are not thick burgers. They're kind of thin, so they're going to cook quick when you go to cook them. Let me set this one over here for a minute. So basically, you just there's a fly running around in here. I couldn't get him while ago, so please excuse him. But you just get the hamburger meat and you put it out in the middle, and you just push it until you pretty much fill up your pan kind of thin. I'm not going to bore y'all with watching me do that. Of course, you want to make sure your hands are real clean. Mine are. I washed them real good before I did this. Or you can wear gloves. Some people like to wear gloves. I just get messy. But basically, you're just pushing this around until you're covering your pan, and it's going to look like this. When you get to this step, when you get it all out, pretty much covering your pan, let me set this one over here now. Then you're going to take your knife, and you're going to make cuts on there where you're going to have 12 patties. So I just eyeball it. So you want 2 cuts going down. And then you're going to be 3, 6, 9, 12 patties. And you want them just a little bit bigger than your Hawaiian roll, because when you cook them, they're going to shrink some. I just used like 70-30 hamburger meat, but you could use ground chuck or anything like that you wanted to. Just keeping in mind that that's not going to shrink as much as these are. They don't have to be perfect, but basically 3, 6, 9, 12, you're getting one cookie sheet or one pack of 12 pack of the rolls. Alright, so then you got that cut into 9 pieces. Then you're going to take a fork, and you're just going to try to put a few little holes or indentions into each little patty you got. None of this is perfection. Probably what makes it so good. Alright, so that's that. Now what you're going to do is you're going to put this in the freezer and freeze it for at least an hour. And then your breaks that you have and your parchment paper, when it's frozen, we'll get to that part, but you'll pull it off and you'll have a griddle, and you're just going to cook them real quick on your griddle. You're going to cut your King Hawaiian in half, and you're going to put one patty on the bottom and with a pickle, unless you don't want pickles. And then we're going to cut up an onion, and we're going to saute some onions on the griddle also when we're doing the hamburger patties. And you're going to put a little bit of mustard, you're going to put a little bit of onion, 1 pickle, and 1 patty, and put the top on there. And that's what I do for a homemade Krystal burger. But we'll be back after it freezes and we move on with our process. See you in a few minutes. Okay, I have the second one patted out, and I did forget to tell you, and I apologize, I had about a 2-pound pack of hamburger meat, so it equaled out to about 1 pound per cookie sheet. If you want them thicker, do more hamburger meat. If you want them thinner, do less. But this is going to be pretty thin after it cooks. Kind of like a Krystal burger. But anyway, so I'm cutting this one up now. Actually, I say cutting, but actually all you're really doing is scoring it. So that when it's frozen and you take it out of the freezer to cook it, then you kind of just pop them loose from each other. So that's 3, 6, 9, and 12. Okay. Now we put our holes. And you may not actually see the holes. You just more or less, you may cut holes in there, but you're kind of just making indentions in it. It just sort of helps it steam a little bit while it's cooking. And if you don't have a griddle, don't fret. You can do this in a frying pan. I've done it in a frying pan before. You just can't do as many at one time. Alright, so these are ready to go in the freezer, and I will see you when we get to the next step. Hey, and welcome back. We're ready to assemble everything and make my version of the homemade Krystal burgers. Alright, so what I have here is my griddle, and I've put a little Pam on it to keep everything from sticking. It shouldn't stick, but I just want to make sure. I'm going to turn it on about 300, maybe 350, and I have pickles laid out on it. I'm just going to warm them up on the griddle. I already have onion cut up. They'll be going on in a minute when we put the meat on, and I already have the buns split each one, and I have mustard on them because that's how they are at the Krystals. These cans don't mean anything except they're just holding my wax paper on my counter, so I just want to let y'all know. Alright, and then what we have over here is our meat that was scored, and it just breaks apart. I've already broke them apart, so y'all didn't have to see all that. But they just break apart where you scored them, no problem. And then they're going to cook really fast because they're thin. Okay? Alright, so I'm just going to set that right there for a minute while we cook our pickles. Just turning it up a little bit so they're starting to smell. And I know it probably doesn't matter one way or the other about the burgers, but I have fries in the oven, so if you hear something going off, it's my timer for my fries. Alright? And that's getting hot, so we're good. I hadn't used this in a while, so I was like, oh, it's still working. I have the other set over here. This is just 12. And then that's, of course, 12. And I made 2 pans of them. And so we probably, make the others after we get through filming. So y'all don't have to sit through 24 of them. And just so y'all know, that's 24. I hate to even say this for Jeff and me. I usually eat 3, maybe 4 stuffing me, but Jeff, he can put down some Krystal burgers, homemade or otherwise.
Growing boy.
He's a growing boy. All right, so what I'm doing now, they heated up on one side, so I'm just flipping the pickles over real quick. It's not going to take long. You're not wanting to cook them or anything. You're just wanting to heat them up. It does make a difference. If you skip this step, it will make a difference on the taste of your burger. I don't know why, but I've done it both ways, and it's better with the pickles. And I always do extra because I have someone, we won't mention the name, that sometimes will grab a pickle and eat it. So,
yeah, right. Sizzling.
Let me get a dish to put next to pickle again. All right.
If we only had smell-o-vision.
We only had that. So I'm putting extra pickles in here for the other burgers that we will fix after the camera quits rolling. Alright, so basically what you're going to be still in a pickle.
Hot,
That's
hot. Hot pickle,
so you just want to put the pickle on the bottom part of the bun. And the way I open them up, the bottom is on the right. Yeah, that's the top. I actually feel like I'm working in the restaurant when I fix this. And I never worked at fast food, but I feel like this is similar probably to what it would be like.
We just need the little square boxes.
Yeah, well, that's it. We just need the little square boxes. Okay, so that's all the pickles. Each one got one pickle. And now I'm going to go ahead and put some onion on the griddle. And you're just basically cooking that just a little bit and warming it up. And oh my goodness, onions smell so good when they're on the griddle like that. I'm going to cut this down just a little bit, that to about 300. Okay, so now I'm ready to put my meat on. Now, I may or may not be able to get all of them on at one time, but it's really not going to take long at all to cook the patties. So basically, you just lay them out, single file. They're going to shrink. I know Blackstone cooktops are real popular right now. We intend on getting one. We don't have one yet, but you certainly could fix this on your Blackstone. That probably would work really well. Alright, they're thin, so they're not going to take long to cook, and they may fall apart a little bit. You know, if that happens, you haven't done anything wrong. You just try to be a little careful with them. This is why they have to be frozen when you cook them. And they were in the freezer actually for about a couple of hours. We're running a little bit late. But you see how long it's really not taking long at all for these to cook. That's why you need to have everything sort of assembled before you ever put your meat on. Okay, so some of the onions you'll put like on the other side, whatever side you're, just actually the top part of the bun. Put your onions on the other side of where the pickle's at. And you're going to make a mess like I'm doing, and that's okay. That's why I have the wax paper right there on my counter. Just an easier way to clean up.
And once you start eating, it's all going to get mixed together anyway. So.
That's true. It will. It all goes to the same place, right?
That's it. It doesn't have to look perfect as long as it tastes good.
I about got that perfect for the onions. A lot of times I'll overestimate or underestimate. Most of the time I overestimate. Then like the smaller patties, they're done. So put them on top of the pickle and then fold your bun over. Don't drain your meat. I know that's going to sound like high in fat, but part of the allure, part of the magic of eating these, and they're tasting so good, is having this little bit of fatty juice that seeps into the bread. This isn't something we eat a lot. This is probably the first time I fixed homemade burgers like this. Probably in about 6 or 7 months. I've been retired since January, and I don't think I've fixed them. I don't believe I fixed them since I've retired. I have 2 more I need to put on. Some of the burgers may hang over, some of them may not. That's okay.
Well, that's what I like about the homemade ones. You actually get a lot more meat than you do at the restaurant. And if you want extra mustard or extra onions, it's not a big deal.
And you see how quickly these cook. This is a lot of preparation up front, but once you start cooking, everything goes quick. And you're eating in no time. saved the little wrapper that the buns came in.
You forgot one patty over there.
Oh, Lord. Be careful, it's hot.
Pay no attention to background noise.
To me, this is one small little secret of getting them steamed. If you don't have a steamer, I have one now, but I didn't have one when I started cooking these originally years ago. So I would, once I cook them, and put them together, I put them back in this plastic bag. They're warm now. They're not burning hot. They're not going to melt this plastic. They're not that hot. But what they're going to do, I'm going to close the little bag up, and they will like steam the buns. The buns will get a little steamy in there. And if you're fixing, like I fixed 2 bags, so if you're fixing more than 1 bag, I set this whole bag, once I get it full, in the microwave and just close the door. That's airtight. So it sort of steams while I fix the other set. And then when you go to put them on your plate, if you need to heat them up a little bit in the microwave, no problem. Just take your little paper towel, put a little water, get it damp, put it over your hamburgers on your plate, and then put it in the microwave for a few seconds, long enough to warm them up. If y'all have any comments, please let us hear them. If y'all have any suggestions, if y'all have done this and you have a different way or a secret something or other that you'd like to share with everybody, please share. I always like to hear, how somebody else does something. And Jeff, how was that? His mouth's full right now. He'll let us know. And I always have that knack. I guess wives do. I don't guess I'm the only wife that does it. But I have that knack of asking Jeff a question about the time he just put something in his mouth. So anyway, he'll tell us in a second.
Well, as men would say, diamonds, that'll shut her up. With men, it's food. That'll shut him up. No, that was good. I'm afraid she hasn't cooked enough, though. She may be hungry tonight.
Oh, okay, that's 12. I got 12 more to go. He'll have enough.
She may be hungry tonight.
That's the good thing, too. If we have some left over, we usually have some left over. We get up the next morning, and usually we eat them. We warm them up and eat them for breakfast. Krystals are good for breakfast. I don't know if y'all have ever done that or not. Please comment and let us know. Have you had Krystals for breakfast before? Not the Sunrisers. They're good, too. But actual Krystal burgers.
Breakfast of champions.
Alright, so I'm going to put them in the microwave. I don't actually tie them closed. I just kind of twist the end of it, and I just set them in here just to keep them a little warm while I finish up the other 12. So basically that's it. It's easy breezy once you get past your steps of preparing your meat and preparing your buns. Please hit like and subscribe. Please let us have any comments. Please comment to us and let us know what you think. Thank you for joining us. And good Lord willing, and creek don't rise. We'll see you on down the road. Bye-bye.